Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back to see what's going on in my little corner of the world. It's been a little while since I made a video, apologies, life sort of got away from me a little bit, but I thought I would record today and just give a bit of a mid-month sort of catch up where I'm at with my reads. Obviously I set my expectations quite high for myself this month, so we'll have a chat about that. And then I also thought it'd be quite fun to go over my top reads of 2025. Obviously I didn't have this channel back in 2025. I was actually debating having a YouTube channel back then. It's taken all of that time to get to here, to having one. And I just wanted to talk about my top reads. I had a very good year in 2025, so I thought, let's get into it, let's have a chat, and hopefully maybe you've not read some of them and it might prompt you to pick them up or add them to your TBR, who knows. So yeah, thanks for joining me for today's video. Let's dive in. So let's start with where I'm at. We're halfway through June. I did set very high expectations. I had a really good month last month. I tend to have a really good month and then do really badly, and I really didn't want that to happen. Obviously I've got a lot more time on my hands now with being out of work, so I just want to try and keep the momentum, keep myself occupied, and get through some of my TBR. I can confirm I have read, I've got my notes in front of me, can't read my own writing, seven books so far. We're halfway through the month, so I'm already doing better than I would if I had been still working with no annual leave. If I was working a full month, I would sort of, if it was a good month if I did 5 or 6. So yeah, we're exceeding that already, which is good. I have done, we're going to pop the picture here with the ticks on, but I've done Saving Six, The Love Hypothesis, Rebel Witch, Role Model, The Long Game, a surprise book that wasn't on the list, and Then She Was Gone. So that's what I've done. The only one left to read from my original hopefuls is Fever Dream. The only reason I haven't picked it up yet is because I want it fresh in my mind for book club, and book club is not until the last week of June. So if I read it now, I'm really bad for I'll put the book down and I will completely forget every single thing inside of it. Even if I loved it and it was a 5-star read, it just goes out of my mind straight away. So I'm really trying to save this for later on, so that I don't forget. I'm still going to tab it, I'm still going to highlight it, but even that, it won't help me. I know what I'm like. So we're going to leave this. It will be my next physical read. I am going to get started on it, but I've just left it to be a bit closer to the time. I'm really excited. There's been several times this month where I've finished a book and I've wanted to pick this up, but I've had like mega self-control. So yeah, the last book on my hopefuls for June is this one. I have got a couple of other ones in mind that weren't on the hopefuls, but obviously I've got some time now that I've sort of almost completed the hopefuls. So yeah, keep an eye out for the wrap up at the end of the month, because I think it will be a good, well, I know it will be a good one because there is a major update. One of the books that I have read in June is a god tier read for me. I am a strange person like this. I have a specific list of books that are god tier books. I think about them all the time. They're my favourites. I love them. And they are books that I will recommend to anybody, anytime. And yeah, this book was just so amazing. It surpassed a 6-star read for me and became a god tier read. So I will go into that in my wrap up. My stupid old phone cut out on me then, which is really helpful. But yeah, that was the end of the June catch up anyway. My current reads, I have got some on the go. Currently reading The Inmate by Freida McFadden. I did almost DNF this last night. Yeah, it's just, I was like 130 pages into it and I was like, I just don't feel like anything's happened, and for a Freida that's really strange. But I decided to pick it back up last night when I went to bed and something did happen, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to DNF. I probably wouldn't have DNF'd it. I probably would have not right now'd it because it's on my 26 for 26 and I don't want to DNF anything off that list. It just feels like a bit of a cop-out. Unless it's genuinely really bad and I can't read it, I feel like I should give it a go. So I am persisting, I'm still reading it. So I'm currently reading that, and also I am actually audiobooking Light Wielder by Rachel Schneider. This is book 2 in the Metal Slinger series. I don't think the series is called that, but I can't remember what it's called, so I'll put that down here. It's voiced by Anthony Palmini. We're going to talk about him later in this video, but he is probably my favourite male narrator, and he's really making this for me. So yeah, I'm about 70% through this and I'm about 51% through The Inmate, so hopefully have these finished sort of by tomorrow, and can add them to the wrap up. Okay, so next order of business is the top reads of 2025. As I said, 2025 was such a good reading year for me. I read so many good books and I did so many different bookish things. I went to so many author talks. I went on my first bookish trip away to London and met the girls from the UK Book Girls group. Just did lots of exciting things that were not normal for me. I said in 2024 that 2025 was my yes year. I was going to say yes to everything that I possibly could. The only thing I said no to was download, and I'll never forgive myself for that because Sleep Token and President were there. It's a sore subject. But no, in 2025 was just amazing. I did all of those bookish things. I went to Silverstone, I went to Lady Gaga. It was just amazing. So when it came time to choose my favourite reads of the year, I try and pick 3 and have a top 3. I genuinely really struggled and I had to do an honours list, and that is why I thought at the time it would have been really handy to have a YouTube channel, because yeah, there was a lot of info, there was a lot of books to talk about, so I thought I need to come and see you guys, see my subscribers, so I thought, why not, let's talk about these books. Okay, so 3rd place, and I felt bad giving it 3rd place because it just feels like it needs to be higher, but there were so many good books. But it was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. It was my first read of Rebecca's books. It was chosen as a book of the month for the UK Book Girls Book Club. I can't remember what month it was, but yeah, this is amazing. The writing is stunning. The way she describes the setting is just like, I felt like I was there. I felt like I was living it. And the yearning between these 2 characters was palpable. Honest to God, I've not stopped thinking about this book since I finished it. It was fantastic, an absolute work of art. So it came 3rd. I feel guilty saying that, but it needed to be up there and be recognised because it's brilliant. If you want sort of soft fantasy, it's not cozy because what they're going through isn't cozy. Wartime is not cozy. But it's like a softer fantasy, I would say. It's delicate and it's just gorgeous. Like, I wish I could read this for the first time again, because I devoured this book. If you have not read it, add it to your TBR, because you will not regret it. There is a second book as well. I can't remember whether I rated it a 4 or 5. I didn't quite love it as much as this one. I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a while now. Like I say, I forget books as soon as I put them down, but I seem to recall that the pace in the middle sort of dropped off a little bit and I needed some momentum, so it wasn't as god tier as this. I don't know whether this is god tier, but yeah, it was one of the best books I read in 2025 and it came third. Second, we have the reason that I'm going to bring up Anthony Palmini again, Quicksilver by Callie Hart. It's stunning. I asked for this for Christmas from my parents back in 2024. They very kindly got it for me. I then ended up not reading it until May because we have a lovely little group on Instagram of ladies from Lincolnshire, and Callie Hart came to Nottingham and we all went to go and see her talk in there's like a church there. She did a church talk with Waterstones and it was stunning. We've then got a signed copy of the book and I'll pop a pic. We all got little tote bags that say Shadow Daddy on them, obviously in honour of Kingfisher. Kingfisher is in the top book boyfriends of all time. Good Lord, he makes me sweat, especially when he is voiced by Anthony Palmini. That guy can read anything. I swear, his voice is like velvet. It is stunning. This book is fantastic. It gives you every single thing that you would want in a romantasy. There's a really, really funny side character called Carrion. Like, just there's so many little quips throughout it. It's not even just Carrion, but there's genuinely so much humour in this book. It's funny, it's fast-paced, the fight scenes are epic, the magic system is fantastic. Like, you genuinely feel for the FMC. It's amazing. And again, the yearning in it is top tier. It's come with a lot of mixed reviews. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but me personally, I saw Callie promoting it back when she was like independent in her like on TikTok, just trying to push out to book lovers, and now obviously she is now properly published, and yeah, she deserves it because this was fantastic. I have read Brimstone. It didn't quite hit the same for me as Quicksilver, but it was still a good read. I still enjoyed being in the universe. I still like being with the characters. Obviously book 3 has been pushed back, which is a shame. It was on my 26 for 26. I have replaced that with Daggermouth, but I'm excited to see what she does with the universe. I'm not, upset with Brimstone. There are a lot of people that are upset with it. I think some people are quite harsh when they don't need to be, but obviously our opinions on books are all subjective. The things that we like, other people won't like. I just think that there's a way and a means of acting online when you don't like something, and like sending death threats to the author is not really the correct way to go, in my opinion, and I'm quite unhinged, I'd say. But yeah, so book number 2 of 2025 was Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Book number 1, again, this choice was so hard. I genuinely really struggled. But book number 1 is another one that is probably a controversial pick. Very mixed reviews. Some people really hated it, which I just like, it blows my mind. But everybody's different. I split this between my Kindle and audio. and I was listening to the last 100 pages, and you'll know the author by me saying that, because the last 100 pages everything happens all at once and it all goes wrong. I was listening to the last 100 pages while I was cleaning my living room, and I was trying to hoover, and I genuinely had to sit down in my chair to breathe because I was sobbing so hard. Like, genuinely, it really got me. I can't say why because it'd be a spoiler, but book number 1 of 2025 was House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 3 in the Crescent City series that follows Bryce Quinlan, and she is one of my favourite FMCs. She is such a badass. I love her so much, and there's just so, obviously they're chunky books, so much happens in them, but this was just insane. Like, it was just, there are no words. It is insane. It's such a good book, and if you're debating reading it, if you're put off because of the size of the series, obviously the series itself is quite chunky. There's only 3 books at the moment. Hopefully there's going to be a 4th, seeing as there is 4 houses. But if you're daunted by that, please don't be, because genuinely I flew through these. It seems like a lot, but it goes very quickly when stuff's happening with your favourite characters. I love these guys so much. Rune Dannon has my heart. What an absolute babe. It's just such an incredible series that she's written. I really like the modern sort of urban fantasy. I really like that. You've got your fantastical features, the creatures, the magic system. The magic system is really interesting. It's really unique, and you've got elements that you can relate to. They're using laptops, they're using phones, there's the internet, it's like modern day inner city. It's relatable in a way that it's not relatable, if that makes sense. And yeah, Bryce is just incredible. Like, the strength of that woman is mentally and physically is insane. She is definitely one of my favourite FMCs. I really hope that Sarah continues this series. Obviously, we've waited a very long time for ACOTAR, and I know my friends who have read Crescent City are always cursing me for reading them so close together, because they were out when I read them. They were reading them sort of as and when they were published. I think there was quite a wait from book 3, from book 2 to book 3, so they were waiting on quite a lot of answers. But now I'm in the same boat, guys. I'm waiting for book 4. I want more of these characters. I want more of this. Obviously there are crossovers within the Maas verse. Yeah, I hope that we get some snippets in the next book that she's releasing, but we will see. Who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, that was book number 1. I'm just like thinking, I'm like forgetting that I'm on this video right now because I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just like, God, I love it so much. If you've not got this on your TBR, please add it if you are a romantasy girly, because it is one of the best. So that was number 1, book number 1 of 2025. So those are my top 3. Like I say, I really struggled choosing, so I did a bit of an honours list, which is a bit unconventional, but they're just books that I thought I needed to mention because they had such a lasting impact on me through the year. So the first one on the honourable mentions list is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Yet again, another UK Book Gals book of the month. I can't remember what month it was, but I think it was quite early in the year. I want to say March or April, that sort of time. This is fantastic, and when it was chosen, I was like, guys, I'm so excited to read this. And all my friends were like, you will love the magic system. It is genuinely so unique. They have these cards, and it's genuinely so interesting. The Nightmare is like bestie. I love him. And I really felt for Elspeth. She was just such a nice little FMC, and I really felt for her. She went through it. But yeah, it was just gorgeous. It was my first sort of gothic fantasy, and it hit the mark big time. I immediately bought book 2 because I was like, I need the rest of this duology. I need to know what's going on with these characters, what's going to happen in this world, and what's next. And yeah, I'd seen quite a lot of people talking about it on TikTok and stuff. It was quite popular at the time that we chose it. I think it was sort of the back end of its popularity by the time we read it in the group, but yeah, it was appropriately hyped in my opinion. I wish it's another one I wish I could wipe my memory and read again, because I genuinely think about this book all of the time. So that is honourable mention number 1, and it's One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Next up on the honourable mentions is another Rachel Gillig. After I read this, which by the time I read it was my 3rd read of hers, she became an auto-buy author for me. She is one of my favourites. I'm so grateful because one of my besties, Ellie, has bought us tickets to go and meet her later this year. I can't wait. Like, I didn't realise it was a meet and greet. I thought we were just going to go see her at a talk for The Knave and the Moon. But it's actually a little meet and greet. She's going to sign the book. So, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm so excited. But yes, the next honourable mention is for The Night and the Moth. It's so nice. I bought it twice. Gorgeous sprayed edge with the gargoyle. And it's just, I haven't taken the price sticker off it. It's just stunning. I did also have the Waterstones exclusive because it was Rachel. I knew that I was going to love it. So yeah, stunning. Yet again, it's just beautifully written. Genuinely beautifully written. Such a gorgeous story. I think about it all the time. I always say, oh, Bartholomew, and nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I do. I can't wait for book 2 in this. I am going to have to do a bit of a recap because, again, it's gone out of my mind, but I just know that I loved this book so much and it was amazing. Again, you really feel for the characters in this. Their situation is unique, let's say. It's a very unique predicament that they're in. And yeah, you just really feel for them. They really go through it. I was rooting for a lot of people in this story, and it's just gorgeous. Rachel is a genius. So if you've not read anything of hers, please pick up this or One Dark Window because you will not be disappointed. They're so beautiful. So that is another honourable mention, number 2, and it is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I'm going on to a couple now that I don't actually have a physical copy for, so I'm just going to plop a picture here. The next honourable mention is Manacled by SenLinYu. It is a fan fiction. I read it on Archive of Our Own. I was recommended it by several people. It was my first dip into Dramini, and oh my god, what a story. Absolutely heart-wrenchingly stunning. Like, it's so well written. Please check the trigger warnings because it's so dark. Unbelievably dark and so sad. Sometimes just genuinely really heartbreaking. But yeah, again, it's another one. I've not gone a day without thinking about it. I wish Draco and Hermione had ended up together as the actual story now, but that's not how it went. So just have to rely on the fan fiction for that. But obviously this has now been tweaked and published as Alchemised by the same author. I was really lucky to go to Nottingham to the same church that Kelly Hart went to, actually, with Waterstones again, to see SenLinYu do a talk when Alchemised was released. They did do a signing at the end, but I was going to miss my train, so I left. It was a personalised sign. My book is signed, but I didn't get the personalisation, so bummer, but it is what it is. But yeah, genuinely really enjoyed it. If you've not done any Dramini before and you fancy a double, probably don't start with this one, but if you're used to darker themes, if you can cope with the trigger warnings and you look for a darker read with heavy themes, then yeah, Manacled is a very, very good fiction. So that is honourable mention number 3, and it was Manacled by SenLinYu. Another one, the next one I don't have a physical copy for, but it is Heartless Sky, which is a book out of the Zodiac Academy series by Caroline Peckham and Susanne Valenti. This book put me in a 2-week slump. I think I mentioned it in one of my previous videos. Just immaculately written. Like, it broke my heart, yes, which is bad, but I always say to people, like, it's not a bad thing, because if a writer can make you feel that level of emotion, their writing is incredible. And the Twisted Sisters are incredible at evoking emotions, big time. Yeah, it really knocked me for 6, this book. Incredibly sad, but it was just fantastic. Genuine, like, 6 stars. It was great. But also awful at the same time, because a lot of bad things happened. I'm really glad that I've read book 8 now. I had a big break between the two, obviously, like I mentioned on a previous video. But yeah, Zodiac Academy is very good. It's very long. It's a very big series, especially if you read all of the other facets of it. But if you have the time and the motivation, then it's definitely worth picking up and reading if you're into your fantasy, romantasy, bully romances, because yeah, it's amazing and it will feed you if you're a fantasy lover, because every single fantastical thing in the world is in this academy. So yes, that was the next honourable mention, and it was book 7 of the Zodiac Academy series. The next book on the honourable mentions list is Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I do now have a physical copy. I bought a trophy, but I actually didn't read this physical. I did it audio. Josh Hammond, what a man. What a man. Yeah, I think about this one all the time as well. It was a bit more like, it was my first like unhinged read, let's say. And I found out that I really, really enjoy books about stabbing materials being placed into beds. That's what I discovered about myself when I read this book. It's now like a funny joke with my friend group that I like sharp objects, but I ain't gonna deny it because apparently I do. This is evidence. But yeah, just genuinely a really nice story. There's lots of funny moments in this. It was fast-paced. I really liked both characters. I liked the story. The plot was great. Witty banter, good smut. What more can you ask for? I did read book 2 after I read this one. Did not hit the same. Did not hit the same. I think I rated it a 3. I have since read book 3, which is Game On. That was a 3 as well, I think. So I'm hoping with the next one they can pick the pace back up and go back to this. I hope it's not like a one-hit wonder, but this was really, really good. So if you're gonna look at the Into Darkness series, please definitely check out number 1, because it is very, very good. And if you enjoy it, by all means give the other ones a go, but you know, if I was to do yes, no or maybe with them, I'd say maybe for them and yes for this. Well, actually, for book 2 I'd probably say no. Book 3 I'd say maybe. Book 2 I'd probably say no, which is a shame, but this was one of my honourable mentions top reads for 2025, and it was Lights Out by Navessa Allen. My last honourable mention went to a arc that I read. I was very, very grateful to receive a copy of The Generation Archives by R.R. Boxall. It was sent to me by Cranthorpe Milner. Forever thankful to both of them, author and publishing house, for giving me the chance to review it. I got that one and Nature's Tributes by Jade Ford, and they were the first 2 arc reads that I ever did, and both of them were 5 stars. I started really, really well. Nature's Tributes is a really cool fae fantasy that sort of mixes it. It's a bit like Hunger Games if like the 2 of them had a baby. Nature's Tributes would be the baby. It's so gorgeous. Hang on, I've got a copy. This is actually the 3rd copy of this book that I have owned. I was given the EPUB from Cranthorpe Milner. I then went and bought a copy because I loved the book so much I wanted it on my shelf. And then I entered a competition on Jade's Instagram and I won a physical copy with a bookmark, with some goodies. It came with some stickers as well, and it's signed. And it's got gorgeous artwork on the Oh, I see what I've done. I've the helly. My bad. Gorgeous artwork on the inside. Stunning. It's gorgeous, and for a debut book, it was brilliant. Really, really brilliant. I love to recommend this book to my friends that support indie authors and like the sort of crossover with like games and trials. But yeah, this wasn't an honourable mention, but I am going to mention it just because it's relevant to the Generation Archives. But it's a 5-star read and it was very, very good. If you've not read it, add it to your TBR. Jade is lovely. She's a very busy woman, but she is working very hard on her next releases. So keep an eye on her, follow her on Goodreads, and keep an eye out for when her next release is coming out. But yes, anyway, so the honourable mention was for The Generation Archives by R.R. Boxall. This is a dystopian, and it was just brilliant. It was so fast-paced. Like, I flew through the book because it was just bang, 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 bang. Something's happening, something's happening, something's happening. The found family in it is stunning. And there is a sort of like I think it was like a mongrel dog. I can't remember now. This is what I say, I read a book and I forget about it. But she had like a little doggy companion that came with her, and I loved the dog so much. And I was like petitioning to her after I read the book. I was like, please make a plushie of the dog because I would buy it. But no, genuinely a really good read. And again, it was her debut. And it's a 5-star read. Like, I love it. I love to see that somebody's finally got recognition and a publishing house is making somebody's dream come true. So absolutely add it to your TBR if you like fast-paced dystopian. Magic systems, really, really interesting in it. Yeah, I loved it. Really, really enjoyed it. So please add to your TBR. It's so good. I have also read book 2. I'm going to go grab that. Book 2, I was so grateful to receive an actual physical copy of this book earlier this year. When it arrived in the post, I literally screamed. My husband was like, oh my god, what's going on? And I was like, look, I've got a physical book. One of my goals for 2026 was to receive publisher or author mail, and I think I received this in January. So that goal was ticked off in the first month of the year, and I genuinely could not be more grateful to have received this. And again, it was a 5-star read. It was fantastic. The abatement mandate was the perfect lead on from the first book, and I need more. I needed more of this. It was so interesting. Again, the found family, I just love it. I love it. This group of people, you're so invested in them, and you want them to get to where they need to be and do what they need to do. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it, but please add it to your TBRs. So it's the Generation Archives and the Abatement Mandate. That's book 1. This is book 2 by R.R. Boxall, and they are brilliant. So yeah, I just thought I would catch you up where I'm at in June, give you an idea of sort of what to expect in the wrap up at the end of the month, although a lot could change. But yeah, it's been a good month so far. Touch wood, it continues. And yeah, let me know what else you want to see. I've had some great suggestions of like bookshelf tours, Bujo tours, looking more at my Kindle and stuff like that. So I'm going to work on those. Obviously, as you saw in the previous video, the Bujo needs some tweaking. There are some things that I'm behind on. I am still behind on those things since, 11-12 days ago now. Still behind on those things, but I will work on it. And the bookshelves, this one's pretty much ready to go to have visitors. But the ones downstairs need just a little bit doing to them because at the minute they're covered in my kids' toys. And there's lots of books that I've bought that need integrating into the shelves before I show you them, because I want them to have some semblance of order, or else it's going to be a very chaotic video. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, tell me if you add any of these books to your TBRs. All of the engagement helps, and I really appreciate all of you guys taking the time to listen to me waffle about a load of crap. But yeah, please follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I'm like getting closer and closer to this goal of 1,000 followers by the end of the year. Numbers don't mean all that much to me, but having a bigger community does mean a lot to me, and my goal for 2026 was to try and get as close to 1,000 as I could. So we're halfway through the year. I've got 300 on the dot to go as of the time I've recorded this video. So if you are not on my page, please follow it, because yeah, I'd love to have you there. Thanks so much for your time, guys, and I will hopefully see you all again soon. Bye.